how's it going, guys? Today we're doing a brake fluid change and also a radiator fluid change on a 2011 Lexus GS 350. And this is a pretty sporty car, makes about 300 horsepower. And I tell you what, it's impressive. I have AMSOIL motor oil in it and a K&N factory replacement air filter. And this thing's got to be making like, I'm going to say 268 wheel horsepower, which is like 315 to 325 crank horsepower. And for a 3.5 liter, that's some power. So here's the plastics. We just pulled all these plastics off. You know Lexus, how they have to jazz up their car. Sexy Lexi. Now come on over. You can see everything's nice and clean, easy as pie. And you say, well, now that we're in here, what do we do? Well, all we do is reach right down, and you'll see the little teeny petcock down there. And I'm going to go ahead and just turn it. Go ahead and just turn it. And there it goes. Starting to come out. And that's it. You just let her drain out. Take a look underneath. Easy as pie. Should only take about 25 minutes for it to completely drain. We're going to do some extra due diligence. It's still draining, probably take 20-25 minutes. We're going to go ahead and suck this extra little bit out of this reservoir. Take a look. You can see there's a little bit of debris in there and stuff. So we're going to try to pretty it up and get this thing all completely dazzled and bejazzled. We'll get this stuff out of there. Time to go ahead and suck out all the old brake fluid here. And you want to do this every 20-30,000 miles. You can go longer if you want to, but the sooner the better. And you can see this has never been done before. This is a 2011. It's got, what does it have, 38,000 miles on it. So we're doing it a hair early, but you know what? The sooner the better with this stuff. It's very important to do it earlier. And this is the same on any car. So even if you have a pickup truck, if you have a Corvette, you have a soccer mom minivan, any type of vehicle, this is very important that you do this because you have to realize the fluids time out. And you say, well, Eben, what does time out mean? Well, not like putting a kid in timeout. Basically, after a few years, which that be most cars about 5, even if you only put 10,000 miles on a car, the fluids are already breaking down from heat and oxidation. So it's very important that you change these every 5 years. You know, can you go a little longer without wrecking a car? You sure can. But the point is, you don't know what's in the car, especially if you buy a used car. Even if you buy a new car, a lot of these manufacturers skimp on the quality of their fluids. And they're more concerned about their bottom line than putting a good fluid in the car. Because the reality is, what's after 5 years? The end of your warranty. So why should they be worried about putting a fluid that's going to exceed 5 years? So if you're in any climate, especially like Vegas, where it gets hotter, what you have to realize is these fluids are going to time out even sooner than other locations. So in a place hot like here, I recommend doing your brake fluid every, 2 to 3 years. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. But it's so easy. You get a little pump like this, just suck it right out, and you're good to go. All right, this is our synthetic AMSOIL .3 and 4 brake fluid. And this is a great little upgrade for you. Has extremely high boiling point. And I'm going to have a link to this product in the description below on this video. Just click the little tab, it'll pop down, you'll see it. And then you can also sign up as a preferred customer, which gets you 25% off all the AMSOIL products. You'll see the PC link below. And now we're going to go ahead and put this brake fluid in. So we just pumped it all out, nothing special. And then in another couple years we'll probably bleed the brake fluid but it's always good to keep it fresh in the reservoir. So come on in here. We're just going to go ahead and fill her all the way up to the top line. Right here's the top. All right, it's time to go ahead and fill her up. So what we do is we come here, and our, believe it or not, it's up here on the engine is where I believe the thermostat is, and this is where you fill it from, which is kind of unique. And what we're going to do is we're going to use our Dominator coolant boost first. And what this is this is an additive, and it keeps your car running up to 25 degrees cooler. And basically what it does is it allows the molecules to get closer to the aluminum, so your car will heat up twice as fast, and it'll also run cooler. Now, the more distilled water you use, the better this works. And the more radiator fluid you use, the coolant, the worse this works. So like out here in Vegas, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this at about 20% radiator fluid. So very low. You know, if you're somewhere where it's cold, you want to run 50-50. That's the norm. Out here, I'm going to run at only 20% because you just don't need that extra protection for the cold. So I'm going to go ahead and put in the boost. You don't need much of. You use about 1 to 2 ounces per gallon. And that's basically it. So I'm going to use about 1/3 of this. A little bit more. And that's it. All right, now it's time for our Antifreeze Coolant. And what this is, it's a special formula that's low toxic, and it's a concentrate, pet friendly, so you don't have to worry about any animals around. And it still offers tremendous protection. It also keeps the fluid from pitting your aluminum block, so it's softer inside the engine, less corrosion. This is good for 5 years, 150,000 miles, and yeah, it's a great alternative. So we're going to go ahead and put in about, on this, we're only doing about 1.5 liters, which is about 1.7 quarts. And that's all we're doing. Here we go. Look at that nice yellow tone to it. We just dumped our distilled water into here so we get all the extra residue out of here. So now we're just going to dump in our distilled water. This is our other about 3¼ quarts. All right, we just got her idling right now. We're letting her come up to temperature. So it's going to start to circulate that really good non-toxic AMSOIL coolant. And now we're going to go ahead and do our extra due diligence. And we're going to go ahead and silicone all these rubber fittings. And what this does is it locks out moisture, and it keeps all your rubbers very soft, and it doesn't allow them to crack, and it doesn't allow your plastics to age as fast. So I'm going to shake it up a little bit, and we're just going to quick hit all the plastics. Here we go. Let's do it. All right. Well, you want to say pretty? What's pretty? This sexy Lexi. Look at these plastics. Look at this. Look at that. Look at those plastics now. So all that moisture is going to be locked out of all those fittings, and this stuff lasts a very long time. So the link to this stuff, our silicone spray, will be in the description below. Closing notes, we're all wrapped up here. We put our .3, .4 AMSOIL synthetic brake fluid, flush that out. We also did the radiator coolant. Yeah, that's all taken care of. We also sprayed all our plastics on the engine compartment with our silicone spray, which locks out all the moisture from all the fittings, and it keeps your rubbers soft, especially in the winter, so they don't crack. Very important for protection. And well, the only last thing to do is to AMSOIL it. And also, there's lots of links below if you want to order this stuff. You can order it in there, and you'll be good to go. Let's do it. It's AMSOILed. All right, also I wanted to mention the motor oil that's in this car is Signature Series 5W30. This motor oil is good for 1 year, 25,000 miles, or 700 idling hours with our synthetic filters that filter at 98.7% efficiency. You put this in your car and you drive super far.